You're going to impress everyone with these DIY Christmas ornaments. They look so high-end, but the majority of the items that we are using, we are going to purchase from the Dollar Tree. So let's jump right in and create some little drummer boy drum ornaments. In the party section of the Dollar Tree, they have these small round gift boxes. They come in a few different sizes. I chose a taller one and a wide, shorter one. These gift boxes are ready for a birthday party. They are very bright and very ornate, but that's okay. We're going to change it. And for $1.25, you just really can't pass it up. The first thing we need to do to the boxes is remove those little embellishments at the top. They are stuck on with some stickers, so I just easily peeled them right off. First, I took off the happy birthday one and then moved on to the flowers and peeled those away from the box as well. We want a smooth surface, so we're getting rid of all the extra embellishments. Now we are going to be wrapping our boxes in some gift wrap. This Christmas wrapping paper I purchased from Ross. It was only $3.99 for this entire roll. And this paper is really thick, and that's important because we do not want our wrapping paper to tear when we are adding it to our boxes. So what I did was I laid this wrapping paper out. I need some long strips to go around the perimeter of our round boxes. I placed my box in the center of the wrapping paper to measure out this size. I traced a line and then cut out the paper with some scissors. I repeated the process on my second box. I simply traced out the size that I needed, then cut out the paper strip with some scissors. We also need a round circle for the lid, so I flipped those lids over, got out my pencil, and traced around the lid. Once I traced out the circle on both of the lids, then I cut out these circles. I got some hot glue and added the hot glue to the top of the lid, then pressed the paper into the hot glue. Once I was finished with my first lid, I did the exact same thing with my second lid. I hot glued the paper to the top of the lid. Now we are going to hot glue this paper to the actual box itself. So I got that hot glue out and I added a bit to the box, and then I pressed the paper strip into the hot glue. Then I just continued to add the hot glue around the entire perimeter of this round box, pressing the wrapping paper to the box as I went. Once I was finished with my first box, I repeated the process on my second box. Now we are going to move on to the rim of the lid. Now, if I were to cut out little teeny strips of wrapping paper, it would have some seams and it would look a little off. So what we're going to do is use some washi tape. I purchased this multi-pack of washi tape at Target. I'm going to be using the champagne gold washi tape first. What I did was I took the end of this washi tape and pressed it to the rim of the lid. Then I pulled it tightly and then taped the entire circumference of the rim. This champagne tape was not wide enough to cover up the entire rim, so we're going to get another roll of the washi tape. This time I'm going to be using a silver sparkly roll of washi tape. I added that to the center of the champagne gold washi tape. I pulled it tightly, pressing the tape to the rim as I went. Once the washi tape had been added to the rim of the first lid, I did the exact same thing on our second lid. I love the two-tone color of the champagne gold and the sparkly silver washi tape. This combination is a beautiful detail. The detail that's going to turn our storage box into a drum is the little strings that go around a drum. So what I have is some gold and cream twine. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of hot glue to the inside of the storage box, and then I'm going to press the end of the twine into the hot glue. Then I'm going to pull that twine down to the bottom of the box, hot glue that in place, and then pull it back up to the top, and then hot glue it right there. I continue to zigzag this twine along the outside of the box. Once I was done adding the twine to my first box, I moved on to my second box. I zigzagged this twine all along the perimeter. Now, because we are making ornaments, we need a way to attach these drums to a tree. So what I'm going to do is get out my Athena drill and drill a hole right in the center of the lid. I drilled a hole on each one of the lids, and then I got out some floral wire. I cut a segment of this floral wire and I poked the end of the floral wire into the hole on the lid. I looped it up and then poked the opposite end of the wire in. I flipped my lid over, twisted the wires together, and for good measure, I'm going to hot glue the wire to the lid to make sure it would stay put. I did the exact same process on my second box, and now we have a way to hang our drum ornaments. Now, every drum needs a set of drumsticks, so what I'm going to use for my drumsticks are 4 wooden skewers and 4 white pom-poms. These skewers are too long right now, but I'm going to trim them. Once they were the perfect size for the lid of my drum, I got some hot glue and added a dab of the glue to the pointed end of the skewer and then pressed the pom-pom into the hot glue. I repeated this process with all 4 of my sticks and all 4 of my pom-poms so that I have 2 drumsticks per drum. To attach my drumsticks to the lid of my drum, I'm just going to be using hot glue again. So I added hot glue to the lid and then pressed my drumsticks into the glue. I am crisscrossing my drumsticks because I think it looks much cuter this way. The final touch is to add a bow to the base of the ornament hook. So what I'm going to do is get some white and gold striped ribbon, tie it into a bow, and then hot glue it right at the base of the ornament hook. And then finally, all I need to do is replace those lids back onto our boxes. Look at how stinking cute these drum ornaments are. Oh my goodness, you guys. These are seriously some of my favorite ornaments that I have ever made. Not only are they whimsical, but they are classy because of the wrapping paper we chose, the two-tone of the washi tape, the ribbon at the top. All of these items look high-end. The cute little zigzags of the twine just is such a fun little detail. And if you didn't want to make ornaments like this, what you could do is get a larger box if you had a bigger round box like this and do the exact same thing. And you could use these as decor around your house. You could put them under your tree as little teeny gifts. There are so many things that you can do with a little drum like this. These are unique decorations that would cost you hardly any money and take up little to no time. Nothing screams Christmas more than Christmas lights. I am going to be installing these E22 Eufy permanent outdoor lights right back there in the ceiling above my patio so that we can have that festive feeling throughout the season. These lights came beautifully packaged. I pulled out the individual boxes and laid out all of my lights. I connected the lights together and then connected them to the control box and power adapter. You're going to definitely want to test out these lights before you install them. I did, and they worked perfectly. I simply pressed the turn on and off button, and then I held it for 2 seconds to reset. So like I said, I'm going to be installing these festive lights right above my patio outdoors. Now, what you're going to need to do first is make sure that you have a clean surface. So I just got a damp rag and wiped off all of the cobwebs and the dirt from the ceiling. And then I made sure it was 100% dry. I pulled the adhesive away from each individual light and then pressed it to the ceiling. I held it in place for about 5 seconds. These lights also come with hardware, so you can screw these into your eaves or the ceiling outside so that they are very secure. The installation process was very easy. Now that my lights are installed, it's time for the fun part, which is to turn them on and test out every single color option that we have. You can download the Eufy Life app and control these lights. You can get an AI-powered lighting experience. All you need to do is put your preferences into the app. The light effects will be generated by the AI. They could be modified and saved. You can do this so easily. You just select the light you want. Under the AI tab, choose a word or type in anything you want this AI lighting effect to give you. There are also color wheels, so you can select any color of the rainbow. My outdoor patio on a regular basis is very dim. I cannot believe how bright it is once I turned on the white lights. all the way up. Now my patio area is so light and bright. These lights are durable and long-lasting, and the temperature range is astounding. It is built for harsh environments, which can range from -4 to 140 degrees. And the lights last for over 55,000 hours, which means that you can have these lights on for 6 hours a day for 25 years. That is a very long time to have the lights on, so you don't need to worry about these lights going out. I'm excited to have these lights, especially during the holidays and really for every day of the week. I will leave a link to these Eufy E22 permanent outdoor lights in my description box, so you can head over to their website and check it out for yourself. We are going to stick with the Dollar Tree and head over to the garden section to find some cloches for our next DIY ornaments. I found these large plastic garden cloches. I picked up 2 of these. They are huge in size. The plastic is thin, but luckily it has reinforcement at the top. And if you hadn't guessed by now, yes, we are going to be turning these little cloches into some bells. So we need to paint them gold. I took them outside and I sprayed the inside of the cloches first. I made sure that the entire inside was completely coated in the spray paint. Then I let it dry for an hour. I flipped the cloches over and painted the outside. Once both of them had been coated in the spray paint, I let them dry for an additional hour. We are going to be adding some teeny tiny bells inside of our bells. I'm using 4 mini bells, 2 per large bell, and then we're going to be using that same twine that we used on our drums. So what I did was I threaded the twine through the top of the bell, tied it into a knot, took the end of the twine, threaded it up through the reinforcement hole, and then back inside the bell. Then I took my second bell, threaded the twine through the bell, and then tied it into a knot. And then I tied the twine into a knot at the top because we do not want these bells to slide around. Now we have our jingle bells hanging inside of the cloche. Once I was finished with the first cloche, I moved on and repeated the process on the second cloche. Our bells look pretty plain right now, so we are going to embellish them, and we are going to be using some of this gorgeous lace ribbon that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale, so it was a great price. I'm going to take a segment of this beautiful ribbon and hot glue it around the perimeter of the cloches. This is a great color combination. It breaks up all of that gold, but it also elevates the look of our ornament because it brings in a luxurious feeling with the ornate lace. Because our large bells are gold and the mini ones are silver inside, I wanted to tie in both of those, the silver and the gold. So what I'm going to do is use this beautiful snowflake ribbon. This has both the silver and the gold in it. I'm going to tie it into a bow and then add some wire to the center. Then I'm going to take the end of the wire and poke it through the reinforced holes and twist it together. That way those bows will not go anywhere. The final touch is to add some pretty lace flowers to the center. These have little teeny pearls in the middle. I purchased these in the wedding section at Hobby Lobby. What I'm going to do is get some hot glue, add a little bit of hot glue to the back of the flowers, and then press it into the center of the bow. Once I was finished doing this with the first bow, I repeated the process on the second. Ta-da! Here we go, we've got our bells. Look at how pretty these are. And they are functional, which is so great. I love the color combination we chose with the gold and the white and the little touches of silver. If you have a large tree and you need a large ornament to take up a lot of the space, these are fabulous. You could tuck these inside of your tree and it would take up a huge chunk of your tree. Plus, big ornaments have a big price tag, and these, as you know, were not. They were $1.25, and we added a few embellishments to it. So all in, these were just a couple of dollars a piece, which is such a great price. You could also use these bells to hang on a banister, or you could even put these on your front door. There are so many places in your home for the holidays that you could add these bells. One of the design elements that I'm using in my Christmas decorating this year are pearls, and another one is bows. So I thought, let's combine the two and make a pearl bow ornament. Once again, we are going back to the Dollar Tree, and we are going to get a package of pearls. This package has a whole bunch of pearls in them, and it will be sufficient for our ornament. And the only other thing that we need to create this ornament is some floral wire. So what I did was I got a segment of this floral wire. I cut about 1.5 foot long segment. Then I took my pearl bead and threaded it through the floral wire. I took the end of the floral wire, wrapped it around the pearl, twisted it, and then left a little bit of a tail climbing back up the wire. The reason why I'm going to do this is because as I add additional pearl beads to it, it will hold that wire in place and keep it from coming back out. So I just added a whole bunch of pearls to create a long strand of pearls. Once I got to the opposite end, I repeated that process. What I did was I just took that wire, wrapped it around the final pearl, and then poked it back up through the pearls that were right next to it. Now what I'm going to do is shape this into a bow. Easy peasy, I just looped it around and created a bow. And to hold it in place, I'm just getting another segment of that floral wire. I'm going to wrap it around the center of the bow so that the bow can retain its shape. That's it, you guys. Look at how adorable this little pearl bow ornament is. This is so pretty. It's very elegant. I can see this bow on a little girl's tree. You could even add this to the center of a wreath. Instead of using a ribbon, you could use a beautiful bow like this. Another thing you could do is put this in the center of a gift box. So you have a gift on top of a gift. I know that everybody would love to get a beautiful pearl ornament just like this. Well, we only needed 2 things to make this beautiful ornament. It looks classy and very luxurious. Speaking of classy and luxurious, let's move on to our next ornament. We are going to need some clear ornaments from the Dollar Tree. These come in a set of 2. What I'm going to do is remove the topper from each of these ornaments. Then I'm going to get some craft paint. I'm going to squirt in a decent amount inside of these ornaments. Then I'm just going to give it a good shake. Just shake it, shake it, shake it. Make sure all that paint coats the inside of the ornament. We want the entire inside to be covered in the paint. Then I flipped it upside down inside of a cup to drain out the excess paint. I repeated this process with my second clear ornament. I added the paint to the center, I gave it a good shake, then emptied the excess paint out into the cup. Once all the paint had been drained, I let these ornaments dry overnight. Now yes, you can definitely just buy some white ornaments, but I wanted to show you a technique that can help you to get whatever color ornament you want. If you have a red color scheme, use some red craft paint, or green or gold or silver, whatever. You can get any color of ornament by using this technique. Now we are going to add some embellishments to the top of our ornament. Now once again, we are going to be using that lace. Instead of wrapping this lace around the top, I'm going to cut it into individual segments. Because if I wrapped the lace around the top, it would pucker and bunch, but if I cut it into little segments, it will lay flat. So I cut these into 4 individual segments. I need 2 per ornament. Then I got some hot glue and I added the hot glue to the back of the lace and then pressed it to the top of the ornament. I added the first segment to the first side of the ornament and then hot glued the second segment to the opposite side. Once I was finished with my first ornament, I repeated the process of adding the lace to the second ornament. Now we could just leave it like this and it would be absolutely beautiful, but since we love those pearls and since I have some leftovers, we're going to add some of those little pearls inside of the holes on the lace. So I added some hot glue to the back of the pearls and then pressed them into the little circles that are on the lace detail. Once I had hot glued a bunch of these pearls to the lace loops on the first ornament, I moved on to the second ornament and added pearls on that one as well. Can you see how elegant these beautiful little ornaments are? I think that they are stunning. The lace at the top could go in a whole bunch of different design directions. A lot of times people use lace for an antique look or maybe even a farmhouse look. You can definitely use the lace for a timeless, elegant look. And of course, we've got the pearls on there, which are so beautiful. But you could switch out the pearls for any other kind of bead, maybe a wood bead if you wanted a rustic look. There's a lot of different ways that you could get a look like this. But these clear ornaments are such a great blank slate. You can use them in so many different ways. If you like this video and want to see a whole bunch more Christmas decorating and DIYs, then make sure you're subscribed. I've got nothing but Christmas videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. So subscribe so that you can come on the journey with me. Okay, so for our next ornament, we are going to be using some wreaths. I purchased a package of these wreaths at Hobby Lobby. There are 3 per package, and of course they were 50% off, which makes it so affordable. Instead of using these wreaths as is, we are going to shape them into some little balls. Because it's made with wire, I can manipulate these little wreaths into a different shape. I simply separated the wires from each other and formed this wreath into a circular ball. Now, I did have some more of those leftover pearls. Yes, we are using all of the pearls from this Dollar Tree package. So what I did was I added hot glue to the back of the pearls and then I pressed them onto the wire. I added several of these pearls around the entire perimeter of this beautifully round ball ornament. I'm going to get some more of that white and gold ribbon, tie it into a bow and add it to the top of the ornament. And for the final touch, I'm going to get a mini pine cone that is flocked and hot glue that to the center of the bow. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Oh my goodness, I love it so much. And you would never guess that this started out as a wreath. It looks like it was always meant to be a round ornament with all these pretty little embellishments on it. You can manipulate items that you already have and turn them into some ornaments just like this. The Dollar Tree has a huge variety of wood ornaments there. I really liked these Christmas tree wood ornaments. And the best part about buying them at the Dollar Tree is that you can get several of these ornaments in one package. We are going to be using 3 of these wood Christmas trees. Now, we've been doing a whole bunch of neutral colored ornaments. So this next ornament is for all of you vibrant Christmas color lovers. We are going to be using some scrapbook paper that is green and red and white polka dot. It's just so cute. I purchased this scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby. What I'm gonna do is flip it over, get my 3 wood Christmas trees, place them on the back of the paper, and then trace out around the Christmas trees, and then cut them out so I have 3 individual paper trees. I'm going to be Mod Podging the paper to the wood trees. So I got a sponge brush and some Mod Podge, and I painted on a liberal amount of Mod Podge to the surface of the Christmas tree. Then I took my Christmas tree scrapbook paper and placed it over the top. I'm using a kitchen scraper to press both of these pieces together. The scraper will get out any and all bubbles that may be trapped underneath the paper. That way it will adhere well. I repeated this process with all 3 of my Christmas trees and scrapbook paper. And then I simply just added a layer of Mod Podge to the top. Again, I brushed on a liberal amount. You want to make sure that the entire surface of the scrapbook paper is covered in the Mod Podge. Once my 3 Christmas trees had the top layer of Mod Podge on them, I let these dry overnight. And then the last thing we need to do is re-poke that hole in the top. So I just grabbed a pencil and I poked that scrapbook paper to make a big hole. That way we can put our ornament hook through the tree. I'm gonna fan out my little trees. Look at how cute those are. And this is another way that you can customize your ornaments to your own specific taste. If you want some bright colored paper just like this, then go with a bright color. If you want some neutral, go with that. You could even stain the wood or paint it, and that would work too. There's just a whole bunch of things that you can do to a blank slate like these ornaments. Another store that has fabulous blanks for Christmas ornaments are Hobby Lobby. I purchased a package of 4 of these really thick wood ornaments. They're shaped just like an ornament. They were $2.49, but they were 50% off, which basically is the same cost as if you were to purchase this at the Dollar Tree. Now, what I love about these ornaments is it already has kind of like a rustic finish on it, so you don't need to do anything to this ornament if you don't want to. And I don't want to, so we're gonna leave it just as is, and we are going to add some embellishments to the front. What we're gonna use are some star beads that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. This package has some silver, gold, and copper colored stars inside. Before we add these star beads to our ornament, I need to drill some holes into the wood. So I got out my Athena drill and I drilled 2 small holes on either side of the ornament. One is a little bit higher than the other because we want these holes to be staggered. I'm going to get a segment of that floral wire and I'm simply going to thread the beads onto the floral wire. I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did with our pearls. I'm going to thread it through the end and then back up through the beads that are right next to it. That way the wire does not come out. Now that I have all of my beads threaded onto my wire, I'm going to cut some segments. The reason why I'm doing this is because as I add it to my ornament, I'm going to take the end of the wire and poke it through the hole. Then I'm going to hot glue the wire to the ornament itself because we do not want it to come out. So I just continue to do this with 4 smaller segments of these beads. I'm going to poke the wire through the holes, string it across the front of the ornament, and poke the wire through the other hole, making sure that everything is hot glued in the back so it does not come out. And then finally, at the top of the ornament, I added 3 little beads. I just hot glued those to add one final bit of detail. Look at how fun this little ornament is. It was so easy to do, and this is one that you can get your kids involved in or some little ones. They would love to get these beads and string them on to either some string, fishing line, or wire like this and create their own little ornament. Once again, you could use any beads you wanted that would fit in with your color scheme. Our next ornament is the most simplistic of all the ornaments we are going to do today. We are going to be using a clear ornament that cracks open like an Easter egg, so you have 2 halves. I purchased this ornament at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to be using this ornament, some frosty snow, and another ornament that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is just get a handful of this frosty snow, add it to 1/2 of this ornament, take my Dollar Tree pine cone ornament and put it inside the snow. Then I replaced the second half of the ornament and gave it a good shake so that all the snow would fall towards the bottom. How cute is this? Looks like a little snow globe. You could add whatever you wanted to an ornament like this. You could put a little sleigh inside, a snowman, Santa. There are so many ways that you could theme this to your specific Christmas decor. Well, we did so many ornaments today, you guys, and I know that one of them will work for you. They were all so easy. Each one of them is very versatile, and of course, they were very affordable. So anybody in any type of budget could make these ornaments, which proves that you can live beautifully and you can do it throughout this holiday season. Hopefully you got some inspiration so you can decorate your home beautifully for this holiday season. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.